A 2-1 defeat tonight, does that feel a little bit unkind to your boys?
It's still a 2-1 defeat either way, isn't it? Unfortunately, we couldn't finish today, and that was the major problem that we had. I've just asked our main man, the technician, how many chances did we have, and we had 22 opportunities to put the game to bed. But we didn't, and I thought we had a 15-minute sloppy spell where they got their two goals, and then we just didn't have the quality up there to score a goal. Not just the forwards, but our midfield didn't get many shots on target. We didn't get on the end of any sort of corners. We worked hard, but there was no goal threat today. It was disappointing because they all worked hard, but you need that extra bit of quality to stick 2 or 3 goals in the net.
Your secretary, Paul Godfrey, described the Blackpool side as League 2, but with League 1 forwards. Would that be a fair summation?
Yeah, I think that's about right. The 9 up front worked very hard in making clever runs in behind. We didn't get many of them runs. The big fella was, obviously they hit a lot of balls up to him in the first half, and then the other big fella went in there and he done okay and all. But but for that 15-20 minutes, we should have won the game. That's in my opinion. But you don't win the game if you don't score goals on the percentage of your chances, and that's what we didn't do. So that was disappointing.
Not many of the chances came before it was 2-1. Most of them actually came after you'd gone behind, I thought.
Yeah, some of them did, but I thought we had 3 or 4 chances, not just ones that were right near the goal, but shots that we didn't get on target. There was a lot of shots that just missed the post, but we didn't hit them well. You know, it was like a miss hit, really. And then, yeah, of course, later on we've sort of tried to pile on pressure if we could. We piled on the pressure, but, you know, they've all hit one over the bar or hit one or didn't quite get the shot in time, or the keeper's made a save when it should have gone in. So that's, you know, my speech to the lads at the end of the game, that it's no use putting all that work rate in if you can't slot 2 or 3 goals in.
So that's what you're looking for really out of Argyle on Saturday. In a sense, the work rate's the same, but sharper in the top third of the pitch.
Well, yeah, sharper. Technique was missing. There's a lot of sloppy feet there that couldn't really get hold of the ball in the penalty area. So I'm going to have to put a couple of sessions on and see which ones are got the sloppy feet, and they're going to find themselves not playing many games. So I've got to do that, because you can't put all that work rate in, come all this way, and all our supporters come all this way, if we ain't going to win football matches when we might have done.
What news of Daniel O'Shaughnessy? He went off at half time. Was that just a bang and you didn't want to risk him any further?
No, he wasn't feeling well. He was ill, and he looked white as a sheet as well. So he wasn't. We didn't need to keep him out there because he'd been ill at half time as well. And so that was why he come off. Pelly was coming off anyway, and Asa were going to play 45 minutes each. So everything was right, barring a couple of goals.
And also, can you just clarify that the Jeffrey Monacana situation is ongoing, but might be solved by tomorrow, or do you think it will go on beyond the deadline, which is fine because he's a free agent?
Yeah. I'm not sure whether we want it to go on any longer, so we'll probably have until tomorrow, because if they can't do it in the time frame that we gave them, then we might have to quickly look elsewhere. But I'll wait for tomorrow.
Okay. Overall, does this offer you any more encouragement from what happened on Saturday against Crewe before going to Argyle, in terms of the general pattern of the play of the side and the shape and that sort of thing?
Yeah, but that means nothing either if you don't put the ball in the back of the net. You know, what was it this week? We scored 2, didn't we, against Crewe, and that's how many you got to score to make sure the opposition, you at least draw, because you'd be really disappointed if teams score 3 against you. But they can score 1, luckily. They can get 2 because everyone's got a little bit of quality somewhere in their team. So you've got to score those 2 goals a game, and if you don't, you're not going to win many games. So that's what we've got to work on over the next few days. Whether you can work on it or whether somebody's just not got the technique. Sometimes they show they have, and sometimes they show they haven't. So we've got to get the ones that have got the percentage of goals in them will play.
Upskilling the players, that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, if I understood that, I'd be able to answer it. Did you say upskilling? Oh, right, is that a word? Okay, you've been at college. I was only got 1 GCSE, so I'll take that GCSE. Anyway, yeah, it is. Yeah, I'll just answer it by saying, yeah, you're right.
Thanks for your time.
No problem.
Is it a case that maybe
That's Gary Johnson.
the settling in period to this level is finished now and it's time to start producing on a more regular basis, not just one game off, one game on?
Oh, yeah, I know. I mean, you can get beat 2-1 at Blackpool and in a competition that's different, and it's not doom and gloom. But all you can do is be honest with the lads and just say when you think that they've not come up to scratch on the day. We put in the work rate, same amount of work rate. We had loads of corners, we had loads of free kicks, but we didn't come up to scratch in the penalty area and just outside.
What do you make of Callum Kitchker first
I thought he was
big
solid.
game?
Yeah, he couldn't do nothing about the goals. It's just what we knew. He's a good kicker of the ball. He's solid. He had a solid game, didn't he?
Yeah.
You'd say that, and he didn't have to take many crosses. He didn't have to save that many shots. Probably a couple of shots. But no, he'd be pleased. That was, he's the one that can come out of it with a bit of credit.
Just on the Monicana and other situation, would you be looking more at a central striker or similar to somebody to Monicana, a wide player, if you can't get that deal done?
Yeah, well, listen, if we can't get the deal done, then and I can't bring anyone in, we better upskill the others, and that's really what we got to do. And if you upset them into doing it, then that's one way. But because they've just got to be more clinical, and sometimes to be more clinical, you have to be braver. Braver in your shooting, braver in your little tap-ins, braver in when you're shooting, you've got to pass the ball into the net sometimes, not blast it over the bar. So we'll see what happens in the next few weeks.
Excellent. Cheers.